Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And the Major 2 in Minnesota has just concluded. What a ridiculous final day of action we had here on the Championship Sunday. Unbelievable state of affairs, so much to dive into, storylines all across the park, a champion has been crowned. Very much into your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. I know I told you guys earlier today that I might just take tonight off, but the voice has got a bit better, and honestly I just can't help it. Like, Call of Duty is just too good. Before we even get into it though, the first Major Championship Sunday in pretty much 3 years or so, 4 years, since Fort Worth 2019, I guess 3 years, that Crimsix, Clayster, nor Scump were competing in, right? So pretty crazy stuff, new era in a way, but yeah, none of these guys here on this Championship Sunday for the first time in like 3 years, so that's a pretty remarkable statistic. Before we talk about the games, we have to discuss the Challenger side that was going on of the top 3 teams in the tourney. This is the order they ended out in, but it's Scrappy & Co, the Toronto Ultra Academy, the North American one, they get the #1 spot, Denter & Co get 2nd place, the European Ultra Academy get 3rd, a remarkable Sunday on those side of things as well, but it's Toronto Academy North America that, win the $24,000, great stuff from these guys, Scrappy, Mohawk, Hicksy, and Vickle, they played a phenomenal tournament, very exciting stuff, and of course they'll be among the 4 teams that will go to the Prime Classic at the start of May. But we've got to talk about this first series, Atlanta FaZe versus Boston Breach. This is where I kind of felt like, okay, look, are FaZe just going to stamp their authority across the series, prove once again that yes, Breach are looking very good, but they've beaten a lot of teams that, weren't particularly good, right, compared to the top dogs. Will they, fall short once again against the big teams? FaZe demolished them on the game 1. They go to a game 2 as well. Even before we get there, Karma reckons, sadly, I don't see any of these teams left even having a chance against FaZe. GG, he reckons. We'll see how that goes, of course, as the video progresses. Game 2 is a Desert Sea Search and Destroy, very interesting one, but once again, right, it's honestly crazy how often this happens nowadays. That the retake strategy is just kind of get bomb site control and get a guy to defuse the bomb. Simp does it right here. They go up 4-2. They close out the second map of the series. Arcitys makes a nice little clutch in the final round as well. Very nice little 1v2 up 5-3 at this point. A 2 versus 4 for FaZe, but kind of Boston get caught off guard. Capsule gets caught sprinting. Arcitys finds himself in a 1 versus 2. Close it out pretty nicely from the top. FaZe go up 2-0. The control was pretty absurd, to be honest. Boston had a fantastic start to it. They go up 2-0. But FaZe, again, it showed this kind of ice factor they seem to have established lately. Win an offense when they need to. That's enough to get them defense round 5. Hold on strong for their defense and honestly kind of demoralize the Boston Breach, to be perfectly honest. Arcitys are just shooting bodies in the middle of the map. We'll talk about some body shots that came in later in the day. But yeah, it doesn't affect FaZe right here. They close out a pretty comfortable 3-0, moving on to another Grand Finals appearance. Honestly, remarkable, these guys' stats. I looked up actually Simp's record. Of course, aBeZy has played with Simp in all the Grand Finals he's been to, but aBeZy was around a little bit earlier. So really, Simp's record is the one to look at. He's been in, out of 21 events he's attended, 16 of them he's been in the Grand Finals. Of course, you can look at the format nowadays compared to how it was back in the day and say it's easier to get there nowadays, which it may well have been for the FaZe guys, but still that is absurd, right? 76% of tournaments you go to, you make the final. It's just an absurd number. Simp has a great series, Cellium has a great series, the FaZe guys get the job done. Of course, it's Boston Breach the drop down to the lower side. That also meant with that victory that I locked up the Breaking Point Predictions champion of Major 2, so congratulations to myself. We get it locked up as a result of this. Lion and Dabs had to try their best to try and bring it back by picking some unorthodox teams, which almost worked out for them in all honesty, but we get the job done. So thanks for all the support, everyone. Usually it's Lion, Man and Crone that win these things, so finally we managed to dethrone the New Zealanders. Let's talk this next series, LAG versus Mutineers, lower bracket matchup. Again, LAG, right, they have a crazy run on the Saturday with their, substitute coming into the team in Spart. Can they continue it against a very hot Mutineers? That seemed relatively unlikely, but that's exactly what happened as the series progresses, especially after game 1. 250, they get put in the 100-point club, Gavutu hardpoint, the 4 ARs that come up for Florida here, right, with all the ARs coming into a fair, Vivid's pretty good with it as well. That does seem to be the way things are progressing on Gavutu, right, just using a load of ARs to seemingly pretty decent success. Then this game 2 as well, Awakening had a nice potential moment here to make it clutch. He gets this kill and pre-fires the second guy's Huke, almost comes around the corner. I believe it was Huke, or whoever it was, Huke or Asim, pre-fires it just as he comes around. That guy runs away just in time, but imagine if he pre-fired that and got the kill anyway. Los Angeles Guerrillas begin right here. An incredible search and destroy streak that got them to the Grand Finals. They win the game 2, they take it to in control, and again it goes all the way down to the wire. Just so many ridiculous series we have this weekend. So many game 5s, so many moments like this in control. It was just super down to the wire, and it's Dave, Paddy and Co that clutch up on the final defense. Florida go up 2-1. Some crazy stuff was going down here on the Berlin hardpoint as well, almost to close out the game for Florida. Number 6 spawns right in the middle of the purple arrows for some reason. Florida arguably get blessed with the spawn, but still LAG close it out. They take it to a game 5, and their game 5 ice was out of control. Zero says, what's going on with these spawns? He can't explain it, but game 5 is on the board. board. 250-202 in the end. They get put in the absolute demon trap to Florida. LAG with Spart as a substitute. He's been going off right, obviously making things really happen with the Volk right, but also the rest of the guys showing up. Huke's had his moments. Asim still kind of taken over, but Slasher to me has kind of been the turnaround force that took them to the grand finals. He was playing lights out. Great to see him back to form, to be honest, given the difficult couple of years he's had, and apparently all it took was Spart coming into the team to kind of spark the life under this roster. So remarkable stuff. So many discussion points on this in the coming days, right? Because they go on to win this series. They win 3 straight rounds on the final map as well. It was a Desert Siege Search and Destroy, and Mutineers are up 5-3 here, and the ice is just unbelievable from Los Angeles Guerrillas. They make it happen. Spart's hyped, and who can blame him, right? They make it through. They knock Mutineers out top 4. Really difficult break for the Mutineers. They made a great run, but yeah, wasn't to be in the end. It was LAG with the ice. Can you believe it? They make it to top 3, and as Chrome points out, from top 16 at the most recent Challengers Cup to currently top 3 in Major 2, of course goes on further than that, single-handedly changed the meta in the CDL. Spart, what a performance from him, just honestly unbelievable, and the lower run they made to this point was ridiculous. They lost to Boston round 1, they then beat Toronto 3-1, London 3-0, Seattle 3-2, Florida 3-2, they then go on to beat Boston next 3-2 as well, like one of the craziest lower bracket runs you are honestly going to see. Final series stats look like this as well. Honestly, the guys didn't really have the craziest numbers. It was Florida with those, I guess, over the course of most of the respawns, but still, it's LAG that get the job done. They move on. As Slack says, you got to think Spart gets a starting spot somewhere after this weekend. That is the big question, right? What Los Angeles Guerrillas decide to do. Gunless was out for health issues. Spart comes through with just a few days practice. The team looked way better than it did with Gunless, to be honest. Yes, they looked decent in their qualification games. But with Spart, it seems like almost they've gone to another level, which does make you wonder, what do they do? Do they keep this roster? Like, does Gunless come back in? Do they ask him to maybe take some more time off? Does Gunless go elsewhere? Does Spart go elsewhere? I don't know, but this is not something they expected. Probably not something Gunless expected either. I guess he was hoping the guys got top 6, top 4. That would have been kind of nice, but anything further puts his spot in jeopardy. And that's exactly how things continue going into the losers finals. LAG come up against the Boston Breach. A crazy series again. I'm not really sure why Boston lets Berlin through, because they are so good at this map. Los Angeles Guerrillas, they win this one in the end pretty comfortably, to be honest. They take the game 1. Game 2 as well. Honestly, their search and destroy has just been so good. Like, Asim was letting them know he was getting hyped, man. It was really cool to see the passion coming out from these guys all across the stage. Some nice kills there, at least. Asim closes out the 1 versus 1. Take the advantage. They close out game 2. But all of a sudden, it has been, to be honest, Los Angeles Guerrillas' control that has been pretty suspect, to be perfectly honest. Even when Gunless was there, still with Spart in the team, to be honest. They go up 2-0 in this one. But all of a sudden, it starts to go back in their favour. And as Octane says, LAG is about to be in the grand finals with the substitutes. What is this major? But of course, that was far from guaranteed. We've seen reverse sweeps. We've seen game 5s. That's exactly what we saw for the remainder of this series. Boston Breach come back. They win the control. This was somewhat less convincing than I'm sure they were hoping for. They won a dominant first offense. That should really be enough to close out the game. But LAG find an offense on round 4. Then it's still a defense. They put the camera on Alicat at the end, actually, just when Boston Breach and Methods won this one. But yeah, they close it out. They take it to a game 4. They win the game 4 as well with some brilliance from Capsule towards the end and really for the entire team. This is well a ridiculous spawn that Rapids kind of points out. Look at this setup, right? We're going over towards the P3. The Boston arrows, in theory, should be set up to prevent this kind of back spawn, but still it comes through regardless. Number 8 spawns right here in the bottom left-hand corner, and yeah, right at kind of pretty much the final frame right here. And yeah, I'll just pause it so you can kind of see what happened there. Pretty crazy stuff. Probably not something that should happen, but this is Call of Duty Vanguard, baby. Boston close out anyway. Look at that kill that Capsule gets on Huke. Flies around the corner, guns him off the head glitch, sends him to the underworld, and yeah, 250-221, take it to a game 5. But Capsule got a little bit too confident right in this game 5. He wins a 1 versus 1 early on against Slasher, shoots Slasher's body, not a body you want to be shooting game 5. Like, even Enable tweets this out after that round. Rookie mistake. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way. That's exactly what happens for the rest of this one as well. He shoots the body right here. Slasher gets taken down. Capsule is having a good time. Before you know it, Los Angeles Guerrillas flip a switch, win a load of rounds in a row. And yeah, all of a sudden, it's them winning this series 6-2 again in the search and destroy. And yeah, what an incredible run from them. All the way to the grand finals. Difficult stuff from the Boston Breach guys, of course. They do make top 3, a very impressive result. But given the fact that they played LAG with the sub, I'm sure they were hoping for better. But still, what a ridiculous tournament. What an incredible championship Sunday. We'll talk about the grand finals here, of course, in just a couple of seconds. This being the first time Los Angeles Guerrillas as an organisation have ever even made a grand finals, with one of the craziest lower bracket runs ever. Up there, I guess, with Slash's 100 Thieves run back at Champs in 2019. Only the 3rd ever time as well that there was a substitute that made a grand finals. Only happened with Enable back in the Optic Dynasty when that was kind of getting into fruition back in 2015. Final series stats look like this. Methods with the 1.25, but to me it was kind of Slasher and Spart certainly at times, with the huge impact for LAG getting the job job done. And honestly, where to even begin with this grand finals, right? I guess we've got to begin with game one, but like, what was I witnessing this series? This game one was dominant for FaZe. 250, 135, dominate the respawns. Okay, look, fair play, LAG. You had your fun, you had your nice little run, you made it all the way through losers, but surely you're not going to take down the juggernauts that are FaZe, right? Been looking so strong. But the guys on Los Angeles Guerrillas certainly have other ideas. Honestly, they all played their hearts out today. Like, look, I've been a big fan of Slasher for years, and I've been kind of frustrated the last couple of years that he hasn't been at this point again. Great to see him back on top. Like, he played phenomenal this grand finals, but game one goes the way of FaZe. Immediately you're thinking, okay, GG, wrap it up, nicely done. They're going to win this like 5, even people were saying 5-0. They were going to win this grand finals. Not the case at all. Their 8th search and destroy victory in a row from LAG, tying the record. Would you believe a pickup team comes into this event and ties through the entirety of the losers bracket the record for search and destroy wins in a row? Just unbelievable. They take the game 2 in pretty comfortable fashion. They then go into a game 3. This is Turtle says 8 search and destroy wins in a row. They shared that record with FaZe until they played another search and destroy in a couple of maps time. They then won this Kavutu control. This to me was the turning point. I thought convincingly FaZe were the better team in control. I thought they'd win both the controls. I thought all they have to do at that point is win a couple of respawns, whatever. Like, they'll find a way to get through the series. When they lost this one in the round 5, immediately I thought, okay, wow, this genuinely could be it. Especially then when they go to the next map and Los Angeles Guerrillas win this one as well. Honestly, look at Spart, the plays he's making right here. Him with the Volk on Tuscan. He's an absolute menace. He flies out the window, guns Arcitys into brute oblivion. They go on to win this map in it was a crazy close one. But LAG up 3-1. This is the thing, FaZe, a few times now we've seen them in their history. They get a little bit flustered. They seem to get a little bit kind of a little bit shook, to be honest, in situations like this where they know they're expected to win. They're coming up against a team that they had an advantage in early on in the series, and now it goes away. And now in their own heads, they're thinking, what's going on, right? And they seemed a little bit shook, to be perfectly honest. aBeZy really didn't play well at all until the game, whatever it was, game 6, game 7. I honestly can't even keep track at this point, but he had a 0.66 heading into the Tuscan control, which came up in a couple of times here. This also went out, I thought was hilarious for FaZe. They already gave up, as Chrome points out. GG's to LAG. Incredible performance. Losing 3-1, not realizing the social media guy that it's actually a best of 9 sunshine. You're still in this series. And, well, they go on to the next map, lose that one as well. And even as Maven says, is aBeZy okay? He's getting choke slammed, right? He was getting bodied on the searches, bodied at the start of this final map as well. Has a really tough time on this Desert Siege search and destroy. In Los Angeles Guerrillas, a pickup team, win it to take the all-time search and destroy record. I guess arguably the best search and destroy team of all time is now Los Angeles Guerrillas. What am I even talking about? It was 320 watching this. I was like, I don't even know what I'm watching anymore. Frankly, pretty speechless. There was a clip that came out from Enable saying that if Los Angeles Guerrillas complete the run and win it, he'll eat his own meat on stream. Well, I'm not exactly sure I want to be watching that one, but I guess we'll see as time progresses. Winning this search and destroy comfortably on Desert Siege 6-1 puts them 1 map away from the championship victory. 4 in a row. LAG, after going all the way from losers round 1 after losing to Boston first of all, winning 5 series in a row. Slasher was on the verge of doing it once again, but it was not going to be easy for them because this Tuscan control was one of the more intense ones we've ever seen. There's so many things to mention about so many of these maps, but LAG did a great job on their first offense, getting 2 ticks on B right towards the ends. That solidified them getting defense in the final rounds, but Simp went absolutely insane in this round, got so many kills in a row, bought his team enough time to get 2 ticks onto B, and then it left them in a crazy situation where they had like 1 tick to get. Honestly, what was going down at the point here was completely absurd. aBeZy finally clutches up and comes to life in this control, gets a massive 2-piece. Cellium just stays alive just long enough to get this capture through. A ridiculous control, one of the more insane ones you're ever going to see, to be honest. FaZe win it 3-2, and all of a sudden when they win this 3-2, you're thinking, wow, could this be it, right? Are FaZe going to make this comeback? They then go into another search and destroy, but a search and destroy against the best search and destroy team in Call of Duty history, right? LAG on a 9 streak at this point. It's 4-4 at this point in the game. Huke is in this crazy position where all 3 of the lads jump over his head. He hits the back, gets a kill. Spart gets the other 2, takes it to 5-4, and they close out the game in this fashion. Honestly, I mean, this was the winning moment. Could not believe what I was seeing, to be honest, this entire series. Congratulations to Los Angeles Guerrillas. Like, I don't know if anyone predicted them to win this event going in. With the substitute, I think most people expected them to come top 12, to make an incredible run. What a team, man. Like, I'm really happy for these guys. Really likable personalities. Incredible that Spart, mate, like, he joins this team after coming like top 16 that Challengers Elite, and all of a sudden he's winning events. Huke is back on top. Like, Huke and Slasher right a duo for a long period of time. They couldn't do it last year on Los Angeles Thieves. They've done it on LAG. Like, honestly, FaZe seems to me like they have some sort of problem getting over the line in grand finals, but, we can talk about all this stuff in the coming days. A ridiculous tournament. They hoist the trophy. trophy. What a trophy it is, honestly. And I mean, yeah, like, I'm just so happy for these lads. FaZe, of course, make another grand finals, but just fall short. Honestly, I'm just happy that I stayed up to, like, what is it, 4:12 in the morning at this point, and like, it was actually validated by what a phenomenal series, a phenomenal storyline, one of the best we've ever seen in Call of Duty history, if not the best ever, to be perfectly honest. But very much intrigued to your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe if you're new, as always. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.